Hello there, I'm Miriam from Pain Outside the Box, and today I'm going to discuss how our thoughts and expectations can actually fuel our chronic pain symptoms as well as other chronic symptoms that can fall under the category of TMS or neuroplastic pain. So I always like to ask my clients when they get pain during an activity or after an activity, I always like to ask them, like, what were your thoughts before that activity or during or even after? Because it's very, very important to try and locate that original thought that has contributed to the conditioning of pain, that has contributed to the symptoms. So basically what happens is sometimes it's just not one thought, but sometimes we can actually locate that one thought, okay, or the main thought that led to the other series of thoughts and catastrophic thinking that may lead to chronic pain. So just to give you an example, I remember someone once told me, someone who suffered sometimes from rashes in the neck, and she told me, I was showering the other day and I scratched my neck. She said, and then the next day I had this rash again. And we're like, okay, but the scratch this was a really tiny scratch, by the way, can a tiny scratch really create such a flare-up? And then I asked her, what were you thinking, like, when you scratched your neck? And she said, like, yeah, I did think, what if this causes this rash again? So she had that one thought when she scratched her neck, what if this actually causes this rash? And there it was, the next day she got the rash. So in that case we were able to locate the exact thought that led to the symptom, okay? And this is actually how chronic neuroplastic pain works, okay? We have expectations, we have thoughts, fearful thoughts most of the time, that lead to what I call a self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? Because our thoughts in this case really do and can shape our reality. So I remember also from my own experience, once when I had the sciatica and piriformis pain, someone called me in a hurry from upstairs, and I remember for that moment I decided to run up the stairs, and I was fine. After I ran up the stairs and things calmed down, I had the thought, like, oh, I ran up the stairs. That must be bad for my condition. And voila, just very soon after, I started getting the pain until it got worse and worse and worse. Okay, so it was just that one thought. I did something that's going to make things worse. What if this is going to make things worse? What if this is going to start the pain all over again, in the case that you have managed to get rid of it? Okay, so really, really do watch these thoughts, because we might think they're harmless. We might think, that, yeah, they can't affect anything, but they do in this case, because these very thoughts are actually expectations, okay? Just by having these thoughts, we are allowing the possibility for something to happen. We are allowing the possibility for pain or symptoms to occur. And what we have to do is to try and shut down that possibility and allow the other possibility for us not to have symptoms. So what can we do instead? So one of the most effective techniques or tools I found personally was self-talk, actually. So as soon as I notice myself having such a thought about maybe getting a condition, could be anything, maybe getting pain again, maybe developing a new condition, whatever, I recognize that thought, okay, I'm having this negative expectation here, and I say, no way. And the way I say no way, I say it in a forceful, defensive, not defensive, but like challenging, proactive manner. And what I recommend here is to speak to yourself in your native language and use very strong, powerful words if possible, use offensive words. Okay, so I used to speak in Maltese in my native language, and I use an expression sometimes when I have this negative thought about getting pain or condition. And this expression is very rude if you were to tell it to someone else. It's like telling him, no way, I'm gonna do this, go yourself. So I actually say this to my thoughts. So no way, I'm not letting that in, go yourself. But just by saying it in this way, it makes me feel powerful. It gives me a sense of agency, and that's what we need here. We need to feel like we're in control of our thoughts, of our thought processes. So that's why it's very important to try and use strong language as much as possible that makes you feel sure of yourself and confident. And obviously, the ideal situation would be for you to catch these negative thoughts from the beginning, because most often it's not just one thought, it's one thought that leads to another, that leads to another, that leads to another, and most of them are unconscious, okay? We're unconsciously expecting an outcome after we're having a thought, looking for it, looking for evidence, so that's how it all builds up, and eventually it might actually manifest as real pain or symptoms in the body. So if you can try and catch your thoughts from the beginning, nip them in the bud, that's going to be much more effective than, than trying to stop all this catastrophic thinking, a day after it has started. Okay, it's possible, but it's more difficult once thoughts have built up. Okay, and once actually pain has also intensified. So the ideal situation would be when maybe you're not in so much pain, maybe you're not having a flare-up, but you notice yourself having this negative thought or expectation. This is the time to say, no, I'm not going to let it in, no way. Use any strong language that you can, and after that, just go about your day as usual, as normal, okay? Just making sure that you are not indulging in the negative expectations when it comes to your pain. So I think having said that, this is what I'd like you to take in for today. It's very important, justice concept. So I'm just gonna end the video and leave you to reflect and think, what have you been thinking about lately when it comes to pain before you get the flare up, okay, before you got the pain, during the activities that you're pursuing, before the activities, even after the activities. Okay, sometimes we get a thought like, oh, maybe that was too much for me. So I'll leave you to think about that, to think about your own thought process and decide what you're going to say to yourself next time you have these thoughts. Okay, that's all for today. I wish you a lovely day ahead and take care.